Got it.
Monica.
No problem. I'll record the session so we can always, share this session. Um, okay, so first of all, hello everyone. This is
Hello.
Bijan. I also, my middle name is Jay, so sometimes you might, see me in the training sessions and or online with the name of Jay also. So Bijan J Hosseinian is my name. So just give you a little bit of history about myself and the company and Anthony and my people that work here. We are Driveware. We are Driveware software. We have basically the same products and services as like RBS that you're used to using. We have been around since 1993. Our software is installed in many locations in US, Canada, and we're now expanding to UK and most likely will be also in Australia. So our product is similar to RBS in the way that it is a system that's designed for entering reservations, bookings. It is designed to handle the dispatching, driver management, um, making sure that the drivers are notified about the trips and the drivers' trip sheets, contracts, code tracking, order entry, accounts receivable. Of course, we have a complete accounts receivable system. Over the years, we've worked with many companies, some small and some very large. We are working with some companies that have well over 400 vehicles. They have a lot of different transactions every day, and then we're also working with some that have only maybe a dozen vehicles. And so our system is based on the number of users, and it's designed so that it can handle, it can scale nicely for very large operations. Tour Coach has been using our system for well over on and off well over 12 years. They went to another system. They came back to our system. I helped them about 7 years ago. So they've been on for almost 7 years on our system now. So we've been working with um, Nunush, Paolo, with Farima. They're all familiar with our system. So they can also sometimes help you if you have any questions. Paulo can, and hopefully Faraz also. So anyway, so basically some of the differences, our system does basically the same things, but our system, it is cloud-based, meaning that, all of your data will be it will be in a data center, not in our office, but in a data center. You access it remotely. So one of the things that you could do is to get familiar with our system is obviously to watch some of our training videos on your own. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up that page so you can see where you do that. You just type in TV in a browser, tv.driveware.com. You might want to like bookmark this page, and then basically it points you to our videos that you can watch on your own. So we will talk about the initial setup today, and then the cloud login, and show you maybe just a simple order entry. We will then, in the next session, we can talk about dispatching and driver assignments, and also emailing. We'll talk about all of those. So let's bookmark this page, driveware.com/TV, or tv.driver.com. Both will get you to the same place. So what I usually do is I create like a little short, I just drag the icon or this eye here to your desktop. That will give you the link to the videos. So Lynn can at any time double click that and get to that page, and be able to watch the videos. Okay. And then another link that you might want to go ahead and bookmark is d.driveware.com. And this will get you to the page where you can download our software. Okay. D dot. It's a little slow, so please bear with me. I understand that uh, for us might be um, upgrading some of your machines. So if you just write down these links, d.driver.com and tv.driver.com, those will always be there. You can just always go to the browser and go there. So we have this uh, thin client. What this thin client is the first icon here, this first link here. This will give you access to the program from on a Windows machine. So on the Windows machine, we prefer if you use the thin client. You can also use the browser to run our program. That's another big difference between our system and RBS. So you can access it from anywhere. Okay. So now that we have the download, we should see a download here somewhere. Let's see here. Where is my download? You're in Firefox. It's not showing in my screen. Okay. Let me see where it downloaded it. Let me download it from here. While I'm doing this, do you have any questions? Any of you?
I just need to see how it works.
Sure. We'll get that.
How to enter
First,
order.
yes. First, I need to install it on your machine. It's not set up yet. Okay. So I'm going to download it. Let's see here. Okay, it's almost there. Okay, 5 points. It's a small file. It shouldn't take too long to download. I do see. Okay, so we go open it. Okay, so Faraz needs to run this as an administrator to give you access to install it. Do any of you know how to bypass this? If you don't, we can use the browser. No? Okay.
No.
Let me take a look. Let me see. What do we got? Admin. Yeah, you have to have an admin password. We don't have it.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. I can have Faraz set this up for you. He's done that.
Only Faraz could access the admin features.
We'll let him do that. But I'll show you the browser access. I was going to show you both, but I'm not. Can you go ahead and close this, please? Just say no. Click on no, please, Lynn. You go ahead and click no. Yeah, great. Thank you. So I'm going to show you the browser access. So let's go ahead and. So one thing I need to make sure Faraz installs these thin clients for you. Okay, so the way that you're going to access the, and we've already sent this out to you, but I can go ahead and bookmark it here. It's a little slow responding, sorry. Okay, so laz.mydriveware.com. And all of you can get this this link emailed to you, so you can bookmark it. Actually it's LAS. I'm sorry, LAS. Okay, so that's the login to the program. So you can go to any browser and go to this address, and I can also bookmark this here. And so that.
Sorry, what is the address again?
Sure, it's right here. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna highlight it for you.
So I see. Yes.
Right there. It's an HTTPS. So it's //las.mydriver.com, and then that :8443 just designates that it's a secure page. So it's a
Do we add that when we go to that?
Please add that. Yeah, that will get you through the secure port. So it's all secure.
Colon what? What was the colon after the colon?
8443.
8443. Okay, got it.
So then what we did was also we sent you already. You should already have this information. Was sent to Faraz and I think Robin. If you don't have it, the login name and password is going to be Starline and Charter 19. So in this case, we log in as Starline and Charter 19 with a capital C. Okay, and we log in. So now we can log in from the browser and we don't really need administrative password, but the thin client makes it nicer because it becomes like a normal, like a Windows app. So you don't have the browser, toolbars on the top. It just becomes a regular app. So I'll have Faraz set those up for you, probably on the new machine, most likely, because I don't think we want to do that on these machines and then later have to redo it. So maybe when he gets the new machines installed for you, I think that's what he told me, that there's plan for installing new machines. That's a good time for him to set up the thin client. He can do it. I mean, he can do it now. It shouldn't take that long. It only takes a few minutes on each machine. Okay, so this is what you see when you log in. So you have your customers. Of course, there's nothing in there now. You have your drivers and farm out companies, your dispatching, your vehicles. And so as you hover your mouse over these icons, you can see the messages. This is for the vehicle maintenance. This is something that's our vehicle maintenance is integrated into our system. So you do have that available to you. You can do all your PMs and all your service orders. Our system is very complete. It does all of the service orders, prints the service orders. It can even invoice other bus companies for the services that you do. We'll go over that later. We don't want to,
Is,
cover too much.
is someone going to interlike? Because we have a lot of companies we work with.
Yes, good question. I've already imported some of your. Are you using? By the way, this is one of the questions I had for you. Did you ever use QuickBooks for anything? QuickBooks for accounting?
Our accounting does. They know about it. I don't, but
Okay.
yeah, they
Do you
use.
know if they're
Yeah,
using QuickBooks or not?
you
I'm
can
using
ask
QuickBooks.
Steve. Yes, Steve is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have your customers already in QuickBooks?
I don't think we have any of the RBS integrated into QuickBooks.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Because
No.
our system can get data from QuickBooks. I was thinking that might be actually a better way to get the data. But if not, then we'll have to get it from RBS.
It's possible that Hollywood Accounting might be doing that,
Oh,
but
really?
not that
Okay.
I know of. Yeah, you could
Okay.
talk to or Lenny.
Okay. I will. I'll find out because that has a lot more better information. Like and we can make sure that they match the QuickBooks customer. If not, then we have to import it from RBS, and there are
Mm-hmm.
ways to do that. So we can import the customers from there. We can
Right.
import the customers, but you do need to set up your drivers and vehicles in Driveware. So you need to start inputting your vehicles and drivers. That would be a good start. And let me show you. This is the driver's icon here, and this is the vehicles. So you need to start inputting those two. But I'll import your customer information for you. You don't have to input your customer data. I'll import that for you, either from QuickBooks or from RBS. So you don't have to input it. Okay. But you do need to start inputting your drivers, please. You could start, like tomorrow or by Monday. If you could start inputting your drivers and your vehicles, that would be a good start for us. And then I'll import the customer. You'll have the customers by then. Okay. But some of the other things that we need to set up is your company information, of course. Then if you want to go ahead and put in your company information the way you want it to print on the contracts, go ahead and put that in there for us, please.
Oh, you mean our
Starline.
company
Would it be
here,
under?
Starline?
Would it be saying Starlines, or will it be saying VIP, or how would it be?
Starline VIP is what they have.
They will have.
I
Okay.
mean, that's
So go
what
ahead
they
and put
told.
that in there, please, and your address.
Okay.
This is just a one-time setup, really. And then your address. That would be probably your yard address.
Right.
Yeah. You can put in the federal ID later. We don't have to have that right now. So if you have a dispatcher that needs to access this information, and it's after hours, you can go to that web address that you have, the LAS one. You can log in and make changes and send a new trip sheet maybe to a driver. Could you put in your postal code, please?
Sure.
Here. Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you know the PUC number, you can put that in now. You can do
I
that.
don't know
You don't know that. Okay.
any of these
All right.
numbers.
And then we would need to also put in your main email address. Obviously, you would have, go ahead and put in your website name, your URL for the website.
Okay.
Would that be
I mean,
Starline or?
Starline VIP again. Would it be?
Your website, whatever your web address would be. Would it be starline.com?
We don't have a separate web address.
Yeah.
You don't,
We
okay.
just use the same one that Starline uses.
Okay.
Oh, just
So let's
the
just leave
Starline.
that right now. And then this would be
Okay.
your default display name would be Starline. Let me overwrite that for you here really quick. This is just this is like the main email address for the dispatch. We will have individual emails for each person in the office. Okay, so this would be Starline. So dash, is that how you send out your emails by default?
Yeah.
Okay.
No dash. Starline VIP services.
Oh, I don't know.
Good. This is just a default one. Each salesperson in the office also has their own. Okay, so
Yeah,
I
we
will.
have. Okay, should I put in mine here, my Starline
Whatever,
VIP?
whoever is going to be like the default email for your company, like when it sends out, we have also automated email. Sometimes it sends out a reminder to the driver. Probably put in the dispatcher's email, whoever is doing the dispatching.
Well, there are three different
I think
people.
we'll have to decide on that. I don't
Okay.
think we
Yeah,
have an
well,
email set for
Use,
that yet.
you could use just. Do you have like an info at Starlines or maybe
Not
who?
for charter.
Okay,
We
not
have
for.
one exclusively for booking daily tours.
I see. Maybe we could just use. I'm just going to copy Robin's for now. We can always change this later.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a major things to change. So just go ahead and put in. I think it's Robin dot. Is it?
Robin with an I.
Oh, Robin with an I. Yeah. So okay. Move this screen so I can move it so I can see it. Okay. So speak. This is just a default one. We'll change this later. Starlines, and I'll show you how to set up the salesperson. And then we'll copy this one. Okay, our system sends the contracts from here, so you don't need to print anything really. You can click a button and sends the contract. So it sends it through these outgoing servers. You don't need to worry about this setting here. We do need your logo for the contracts and the codes. So if you could please send me, if you want me to just use the standard Starline logo, if you have one, just email it to me and I'll put that in here for you, the logo for the contracts. Okay. And then the rest of these, I think we can keep the same. You don't have to worry. As far as like spot time, you can have it so that you can say 30 minutes before the pickup time. You can say, give me the spot time 30 minutes before. Yard time would be 30 minutes before. These are just some defaults you can set later. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Okay, so we have your company information. We just need the PUC information. So I'm going to write some notes here. What we need, some of the missing information that we need. We need the PUC information for the contracts and the driver strip sheets. we need for us to install the thin client on each machine. I will send an email to him so that he's aware of that. Okay, and then what else? And then you need to set up the drivers and the vehicles. So you can go under drivers or vehicles, and basically those get you to the same area. These are just command bar shortcuts that get you to the area quicker. So if you go to the drivers and go to maintain drivers, basically does the same thing. And then you can insert and put in the driver information. You don't need to worry about the company. If it's a driver that works for you, you just put in their first name, last name, their cell phone number. Our system can send text messages to drivers to notify them about the changes. Like if you made a change on the spot time, you can click a button and send them a text message. So it's nice if you had their mobile number, their cell phone number. So the driver's license renewal dates and medical is important because our system will send you reminders that these drivers are due for their medical or their renewals. So it would be nice if you could get this information all together. Um, so on their drivers, maintain drivers, and then on their vehicles, maintain equipment. This is where you add your vehicles. So I like you to do those two tables for us, input the drivers and input the vehicles. So once we have those three tables, the vehicles, drivers, and the customers, you can start entering new orders. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a test account here for customers so we can see how it works, okay? So
Okay.
the customer information, we assign a number, but usually you can put in anything you want in the customer number. If you want to match your QuickBooks, you can match. Usually you can just go ahead and accept the customer number if you want. So I'm just going to put in a customer here called Elite Tours and John Smith. So we put in the information here, the address, the zip code, the phone number for that client, and then the email address. This is the main bill to email address. So this would be like their bill to email. Each company that you work with can have departments. So for example, you could have a department within that company that is, say for example, we have Faraz, and Faraz is in the tour department, and his email is Faraz at Starline. It's just an example. We can delete this later. So within the company that you're adding, you could have 6, 7, 10 different people that you might be working with, and they might have their own individual emails, and you might be dealing with those people when you're doing charter sales, and then maybe there's another person that you need to send a confirmation to. So you can add those people in here. We use that for communicating the information about the trip, and we also can use the same information for email marketing. So if you wanted to create a email marketing list, our system generates a list, an Excel list that you can then use for your marketing. So it is important that you capture all of those emails and input them under that customer. Okay, so that's just one customer that we have as an example customer. So in order to do like a quick quote for this customer, because it's already in the system, is the first option here. You start a new quote. So you say, this is a quote for Elite Tours, and we're going to create a quote for tomorrow at 10 a.m. And the group is tours. We don't have to fill out any of this information. It's not required. Just maybe the number of vehicles. They might need 2. So here we can put in, okay, where are we picking these people from, and select from the list. Okay, so you select the locations, and then you can either have the system calculate the rate for you, or you can manually put in the rate yourself. So in this case, I can say that this is a rate that is based on the hours, and in the first 3 hours is going to be 185. Each additional hour is 49. You define these rates yourself. Okay. So then here it calculated the charges for you. So if let's say that the vehicle is going to be back in the yard by 3 p.m., then that makes it $329. Okay, so then you can add the miscellaneous charges like gratuity. It automatically calculates that for you now. And I can add the driver's room, telephone charges. You can add anything you want to this list. It's very flexible. Toll charges. So it breaks it down for them, what the charges are, okay? This is the regular. So you can overwrite this and say this is going to be $400, and you might want to give them a discount. If you want to give them a discount, you can. And all we know right now is that they're requesting maybe 47 packs, okay? Oh, one thing we should probably do is um, the type of vehicles that you have in your location that you need to dispatch, and you're responsible for dispatching. What type of vehicles do you have?
Just the big buses or
Yes.
separate?
Okay, so let me go ahead and set that up for you really quickly. This one we can do right now, so it's ready. So what you do here is you initially ask the customer, what type of vehicle are you looking for? And they'll tell you that we're interested in a large bus, 57, and that you assign that. And our system will give you an inventory of what buses, how many of them are available at any given date. It can give you an inventory, and also it can show you on the grid what's available and what is out now and what's available. So let's go ahead and save this really quick and print it. We're going to go ahead and print this for our customer here. We want the contract terms, right? And we want maybe there for them to sign and return a credit card form. So now let's take a look at it on the screen. So there's the quote, okay? So it has the number of vehicles, and we could see that the charges here, where we're picking up from and where we're going to, the gratuity, parking fees, everything is spelled out, right? On the second page, it has the contract terms. And on the third page, it has the credit card information they need to fill out. Now you can customize your own terms. This is just what we have as a default, and you can easily customize this yourself. Okay. So let me go back, and we need to do a couple of things here. One of them is we need to set up your vehicle types. That's important. Okay, so you don't really have any of these other type. You don't deal with sedan or stretch or SUV, limo. You don't have any lemos, right?
There's one limo.
Okay.
We're not using it right now, but we do have one.
Okay. So I'm going to keep, is it a sedan or is it a SUV or is it a stretch
It
limo?
says sedan.
Sedan. Okay. So I'm going to I'm going to delete these other ones because you don't have them. Obviously, you don't
Okay.
need them. Okay. Okay. The reason is I already have a couple of these that I need to get rid of. These SUVs. I probably should just get rid of all of them altogether. All right. Let's see. I'm going to get rid of these so it's clear.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to delete this one too. We don't need any of these. There are some demo vehicles we put in here.
We do have a limo bus.
Demo bus, yeah, we'll keep one in there, yeah. Delete these. Let me delete the. I'm going to delete the entire vehicle list for you. So we start with a clean one. So what type of vehicles, what vehicle types do you have? Did you say you call them big bus? What do you call them?
Well, there's 355 passengers.
Okay, good.
There's Cetras, and any other details I'm not. You'd have to
So
ask
these are
them.
55 bags. They're all
Right.
Cetras?
Yes.
Is that how you spell it, Cetra? Okay, so you have 3 of those.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else?
Question.
Good.
This, you say that this is the same one that like Hollywood office has. Are we okay? What you're putting in here is just what we have over here, right?
Correct.
I mean,
Yes, they decided that they want to keep them separate for now. That's what
okay.
they decided.
'Cause
So this is what you have in your inventory.
okay.
Okay.
And we have mini buses too. I don't see 26 passenger on here.
So I'm going to change
The
this
one,
one. I'm going to change this one to 26.
okay, and I'm not sure how many there are here, so you have to check with our mechanic shop.
No problem. And yes, we can update this information later. Okay, so
Okay.
you do know that you have 55 packs. You have 3. Do you have any 47 packs at all?
No.
Okay, you don't have any of those. Okay, so we can delete that one. And what about 57?
No.
So we can delete that. Okay, and then let me go ahead and clear out all of the buses so you don't have to worry about that anymore. We'll start from scratch. Just 1 minute and I'll have it cleared out. Very good. I'm clearing it out. Just a minute. So it's all cleared out now. So we can add our own. So I'm going to go into here. Vehicle types. We're going to delete the 47 packs. You don't have those. So you have the 55 Cetra 3. This one we can delete. You have a Lemo sedan.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a Lemo party bus.
Yes.
And then as far as minibuses, you said you don't know how
I'm
many.
not sure many, yeah.
So you have the minibuses that are they all 26 packs?
Yes.
Let's get rid of all this other stuff here. And no school buses, right?
No.
And no vans. Okay. Okay, so we're all set. So what this is going to do, we just need to know the number of minibuses that you have. So that way you put that in here, and then as you are taking reservations for those type of buses, our system will count and it will tell you if you have availability for any given day. And then also here on this one here, it will show you based on the buses, which buses are available that day, from what time to what time. It will tell you. So let's go ahead and just add one of the vehicles so you can see how it works. Okay, so do you have a unit number you can give us for one of your Cetras, maybe?
What do you mean? You mean like 401,
Yes,
402?
exactly.
401.
Okay, and that's a Cetra.
Uh-huh.
And what model is it?
You mean the year? I'm not sure about the
No,
year.
the model, like if it's I mean, is it a 50? Yeah, probably like a 55.
Yes.
All right, so you can put that in there, or we can also choose from here. This one here. The year. What
Yeah,
year is
that
it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so you need to get some of this information. So I'm going to write that down also in the things to do. So we need to know the year, the color, the serial numbers, and it's just important for you to have. And then the current odometer, we can put that in there for the maintenance, and then the system will take over as far as the PMs. So we need to know just the most important information would be the uh, basically the color, the serial number. If you put that in there, that would be really helpful. Okay, and also these renewal dates, our system will remind you if when the registration is due, insurance is due, all of these will pop up. We have pop-up reminders. So let's just save this the way it is. So now on the grid, you're going to see 401, etc. See, we only have one right now. You need to add the additional ones in there, and then they'll show up all in here. So if we assign that Cetra to that order, let's go into, so we entered it as a quote, right? So the customer, we entered the order as we entered that one for the Elite Tours as quote, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we printed the quote, and the customer says, yes, I want to go ahead and go with this. It would be 2 buses basically. So we're going to put in 2 buses. So I'm going to show you how it's going to look. So we need to assign 2 buses and 2 drivers to this order. And so one of the things that you're going to do at the beginning when you first talk to the customer is what type of bus do you need? So the customer says, I want a 55 passenger. So you assign that, right?
Right.
So because we don't know, like if you're taking a reservation for something that's 3 months away or 4 months away, you don't know the vehicle, right? You don't know
No.
the actual vehicle that will be assigned. You just know that the customer needs 55, etc. So a lot of times, what your salespeople will be doing is taking a look at the inventory and see what's available. Okay, so normally we told it that. Let's see here. On the 3rd, on the 29th. So this is under the system setup vehicle types. We put in here that you have 3. All right, let's see here. So once you assign this, then what the system will do is will show it on the grid. So for example, if the customer says, okay, I'm going to go ahead and give you a deposit, so you can apply the deposit and make this into a work order. All you have to do is change it to a work order. And now it's a work order instead of a quote. And you can apply a payment and send them a receipt. And then you can assign the vehicle. So I can go in here and assign the 401. If I start to assign 401 to this one, I only have one vehicle in the list. So it tells me that there's a conflict. You see, it
Yeah.
knows that this bus is already assigned. And if you take the reservation like that, if you look at the schedule for tomorrow, you'll see red. That means that there's a conflict. This bus is out from 9 until 3 p.m., but it's got a conflict. So, if we double click, we can actually see the order. So you can see your schedule for each bus and for each of your drivers for any given day, hour by hour. You can see what's going on that day. And you can change them from here even. Okay.
Okay.
All
So
right.
the main thing is the vehicles need to all be in here, right?
Yes, the
The
vehicles and the
numbers
drivers.
and the serial
Driver.
numbers too, right?
The
And the
serial number for
buses.
the vehicles is it would be useful, yes, but not
Okay.
necessary for the start at least. It's just we just need the vehicle
Mhm.
information, like okay, the vehicle number and the description of the vehicle, what year it is, what type of vehicle it is, and you have all the types now. We already did that for you,
Right.
so you
Okay.
simply select that from the list, and then uh, the these dates when you have time, or if somebody in your office can find all these dates as far as when the registration is due on each one, it's useful because our calendar system will remind you that you need to register this vehicle or the insurance is due on this vehicle. So yes, for you, your homework would be, of course, like we each of us have to do something as far as getting this to the point where you can start using it. It would be for you, it would be the vehicle information and the drivers, these two. So somebody in your office can help with inputting the drivers, and then another person maybe help with the vehicle. And I'll get the customer information imported for you.
There's a lot of customer information.
Yes, yes, I'll have that all imported for you, so you don't have to type it. Yes,
Okay, because some of those they even have more than one location. I mean, they
yes,
have different offices, different emails, everything.
yes. Yes, I understand. So we can import all of that and you can clean it out later. In our system, you notice that you can keep a lot of that under the same account. So if you're dealing with a school that has maybe 15 different departments, you can put it all in here. If you're working with a corporate account that has different locations, you could basically have one bill to and then all the different contacts. In our system, you can reduce that, but in some systems, I've seen that they keep them separate. You have to create a separate account for each one. And so sometimes you end up with duplicate names. And so that we've been importing customer information from hundreds of companies. And we know every time we go into a company that we see all these different, same name, same school name, same company name, but a different address, but different email. And so in our system, you have the choice. You can keep it separate, or you can keep them, you know, in a separate account, or you can keep them as
So
part of the
we
same
can
account.
consolidate
Yes,
the
yes,
different accounts into one account
yes. That's what I would recommend
if they're the
because
same company.
yes,
Yeah.
because what happens is that if you were to send a statement to that bill to address, you know, if you had them on their separate accounts,
It's right here.
yes. The point. If you had your accounts receivable sent to, you would have to create like in your current system, you might have to create three different statements to send to the same bill to email. In our system, you can keep them all under the same bill to, but have multiple departments under that company. So you could, yes, the answer is yes, you could consolidate those into one and then just send one statement because our system generates statements for the customers, and it can also generate accounts receivable aging, tells you how much is your 30, 60, 90. And then we also have something that's really useful is what we call the on-earned income. It shows you how much money you've received and what portion of that is earned and what portion is unearned. Because if the services that you've received cash or money for a service maybe sometime in June, really that money is not earned yet because you haven't performed the service yet. So our system can generate all these different types of reports for you based on, and you can also do by job type. You can separate your accounts receivable by tours or regular charters or school. Okay. So again, I think the best thing to do at this point is to get the database uploaded for the customers, and you guys built the drivers and the vehicle information, and then we'll have another session, and we'll get you started with entering the orders. And you have to have a cutoff date. I think the cutoff date we have to decide whether it's going to be, May 1st, April 15th, whatever you decide. You
You
would
mean a cutoff date to transition from RBS to the system?
Yeah, you would have to start inputting your orders, all your new orders as of a certain date in DriveWare. And then if you as you have time, you can go ahead and input the orders that are still active and you haven't done the job for into the system. But you would have to have a date that you start using DriveWare and you don't use RBS, and then you would just use RBS as the basically for order history, just looking up something. If you need to look up the order number, or if you need to look up an amount that you charge the customer for the last order. But everything that you do from say May 1st needs to be in DriveWare. So then that way, you transition to the new system and you keep the other system as for historical data. That's the way that all of our conversions have been done in this fashion, and it works the best. You have a cutoff
Is
date.
there a overlap time when we're using both?
You could, but I honestly think that if you do that, it creates a lot of work for you, and it's just redundant entry. If you could do that, that's fine. Maybe just keep it maybe just to that 1 month.
Oh,
Maybe.
what I just meant is like if we're doing new orders in RBS and DriveWare for a period of time. Like
Yes, you could.
mostly doing RBS, but like as we're learning the system, doing a few in
Oh, definitely.
DriveWare until we feel comfortable,
Do that.
and
Yes,
then
do
at a
that, and
certain
we
cutoff
clear
point,
it. Yes, do that, and if you need
right?
to, we can clear it from the system. If yes, absolutely, you can do that. You can do that now.
Okay.
Yeah, you can actually
We
do
could
that right
start
now.
using DriveWare right now
Yes,
for
you could
new
start using
orders.
it. And I can
Once we
do,
have the data in.
yes, of course, when we have the customer database and we have
Right.
the vehicle and the drivers built, and then starting that would be the best way to go about it. Yes, yeah, to definitely
Cool.
do some testing first, and then we go from there. And then also please watch these videos, these recorded videos that
Right.
we have here. I recorded this session, so this session will be available on YouTube by later today or latest tomorrow. So you could um, have Robin watch it. You can watch it again yourself or any new
Great.
employee. The only other thing that you need to do, I don't want to enable this, but just to let you know, we have a complete security system. So each person will be logging in with their own username and password. I won't
Good.
enable this until the next session or maybe the final session that we have. So then that way you don't have to worry about setting up the users right now. We don't want
Right.
to make it too complicated. So
But once we get the users, everybody will log in with their own
with their
username.
own name. And what's nice about that is that you can see who changed what information was changed by which
Right.
user. You can delete a user if that person doesn't work there anymore. You can go in there and maintain users yourself. And
Fantastic.
yes, and then on the final phase of the training, we will cover maintenance because our system has a complete vehicle maintenance with including with PMs and service orders, parts,
Robin will be happy about that.
Yes, we have that. And we had a customer in Atlanta area just a couple of weeks ago. I was talking to them. They had an audit done and they had an inspection done, and the inspector gave them 100% because everything was in one place. They had all the parts that were used. For each vehicle, we track all of that.
Yeah, you'll definitely want to talk to Robin about that. He'll
Yes,
totally be excited about that.
cool. All right, so let's get you started then. So again, you guys will help us build the drivers and the vehicles, and I'll import your customer, and I'll communicate this information with Faraz and everyone else.
Great.
And I'll send you the recorded video so you can watch it if you like to.
Okay.
Any
Any
questions?
questions?
Yeah, questions?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then